Hello everyone, my name is Dominica and you might know me as Spirit Made of Stars or Forest Ghost or whatever else. And I'm here because some of you enjoyed my writings on my Instagram and encouraged me to finally do what I wanted to do for many years. And so here I am. Anyways, I'm super thankful to all of you who encouraged me and who enjoy my writings, and so I thought I could start this. I'm happy that I could finally sit down and gain some courage. So that's why I decided that the first topic I would like to talk about a little bit is the fear of judgment. As a child or as children, we all experience world a little different. For example, me, I used to recite poetry, I used to go on competitions, I talked in front of many people, like when there were some events in the village or school, you know, I feel like I was encouraged to do such things, and I'm thankful because poetry is a big part of my life. But yeah, I mean, I was nervous as a child, but I was never really like scared of what people will think. And it's so interesting that that as we grow up, that's my cat trying to get into Narnia apparently. As children, we might do some very, very embarrassing things, but you don't really think about people like what they're gonna think. You just mostly think about probably your mom or your family, if they are in the audience, and you maybe look at them or at your friends, you're having fun. I remember when I was younger, there was also an event from like school and kindergarten, and there was one girl, I think she was still in kindergarten, and while she was reciting or singing, I'm not really sure what she was doing, she just started to lift her skirt up, and she did not care. I mean, people giggled and chuckled or whatever the words are, they laughed a little bit, but it was, you know, like innocent, just a child. So yeah, as children, I feel like we are not really that afraid of judgment, or at least most of the children are not afraid to just exist. And you know, as a child, you draw some horrendous, horrible things, and you still go show them to your mom or your dad or your grandma. I'm sorry, when I talk, my cats really want to communicate back. I have an audience here, and that's another like good point. That, you know, my boyfriend is here, there, doing his things, and already I feel a little bit of a little bit of a judgment, or perhaps I'm afraid that he will judge me or whatever. So I wonder how exactly we acquire this fear of judgment. I mean, I guess that I started to like doubt myself or whatever when I began high school. I guess I acquired like the fear of judgment there because of course there is a lot more kids, and we get to that age where children are maybe a little bit harsher on each other. Just when I was younger, I would do all sorts of things. I would dance in like a pink hat and sing, and you know, I was not really scared. I did not care what people think. I remember, actually just came to my mind that I used to take dancing or dance class. I remember that me and friend like went together to the dance class, and she came to my home, and I was dressing up, and she expressed her dislike for my outfit. So I guess that was like one of the first times that I was like, oh. Because I used to dress weird, because I mean, I come from not very wealthy family, and we mostly got clothes like from secondhand or thrift shops, and from family members, neighbors, things like that. So my outfits usually, I'm happy that the internet was not very like prominent when I was when I was young, because I guess I would be embarrassed now. But again, we come back to the judgment. Because I mean, why should I be embarrassed for just like putting clothes on? I mean, what? It's just really weird how we judge each other based on like such stupid things. I mean, why does anyone care if I'm wearing, I don't know, like pink tights and I don't know, like green dress? I mean, it's just clothes. So yeah, I mean, it's just really weird. So of course, when I started to grow up a little bit, I created Facebook and Instagram, deviantart. I have been on deviantart for 8 or 9 years, I guess. And I remember that when I started to shoot, like take photos, I especially when I started to experiment with self-portraits, I was super afraid, like of judgment, because I don't really or now I've started to come to terms with myself and how I look and all those things. But I was really afraid. I just felt not pretty, I guess, because I either liked a photo like that was really close to my face, so I could like make my face look nice, and then retouch it and make my skin look nicer. And if I was taking photos from afar, I would always like cover my face, because I also when I would take photos of like portraits of my face, I would usually place a mirror behind the camera so I could see what I was doing. But when you're trying to take a photo of like of your whole self or in some kind of position, you cannot always see your face. And when I looked at those pictures, I really thought that my face was just stupid, that my expression looked horrible, and that my face just did not match my body, because I have naturally like a pinkish or reddish tone on my skin, and most of my body is like super pale, and I always felt like, when you play with Lego and you change the heads and bodies. I hope most of you did that, not just me. I just felt like that, when I looked at the picture, I felt that it just did not look pretty. And I thought that people would say, oh my god, your face is so red, you look so funny, you look like a weird pink clown or whatever, So I started to hide my face, and I still actually enjoy photos like that because I feel like it brings the attention to other elements in the photo. Yeah, I feel like we are afraid, well, I feel like our fear is not justified most of the time, because maybe, you get told once that, I don't know, your forehead is big, or some friend says, oh my god, you cannot sing or whatever, or you sounded stupid. And especially if you're younger, you're more easily like impressionable, or I think, is that the word? So you, or at least me, I don't know, maybe some people have a harder shell, but I used to take it very close to my heart, and I was hurt, and I didn't want to be judged for things. So when I would do things that I liked, I would usually do it in this room, hidden away from the world. I would sometimes, like show my mom or whatever, and the funny thing is that I was usually embarrassed to show things that I love, or my passions, my hobbies, to like my family or friends. It always felt so much more like freeing or easier, and I was not afraid to share it on the internet. And that's just like really weird, because I mean, they're strangers, but I felt like, they don't know me, they don't have to judge me, they just have to judge the piece of art or whatever that I put up. But yeah, I also have made videos similar to this one before, like years and years ago, but because I of course wanted to be the next YouTube star or whatever. That's like the dream job of today's kids, I guess. But yeah, I mean, like 8 years ago, I was actually like making makeup videos, just and talking. I was trying like vlogs, but I was usually making them like for myself. they are sadly now all deleted because younger me felt embarrassed to watch them. But yeah, I was actually mostly embarrassed of my face again. I mean, my teeth are not straight, and I felt like a viewer watching would focus on that and tell me how ugly my teeth are or whatever. I feel like that's another whole video, like things I don't really feel like are pretty about me. Yeah. But I learned to love myself, I guess. We'll see. So yeah, that's why I always deleted them or never posted them. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of sad because if I maybe posted the video like all those years ago, I could have been somewhere completely else. Maybe I would have found people that would enjoy hearing me speak or watching me, and maybe it would have been my career, like really. When I was little, my cousin, she was a spunky teenager, and I was singing to myself, and you know, all the cool kids were judgmental and insulting each other. I was singing and she asked me if I liked that song, and I said yes, I do like this song that I'm singing, of course. And she told me, well, then why are you ruining it? And I felt my heart drop, and I was very afraid to sing or do whatever from then on. And only when I was, I don't know, might have told me that when I was like 7 or younger, not sure, but only when I was a teenager myself, I feel like I was 14, maybe 15, we had a music teacher, and she told me that my voice sounded really nice. And then I realized that, oh my god, maybe it does. Maybe I can be a singer one day, because I always like to sing, and I, you know, like every other kid dreams of becoming a singer or a musician, actor, and that was me as well. Then I actually started to build my confidence again, but then I never liked my voice, how it sounded on camera. So I, again, never posted any like covers or original songs out until last year or what. And even then I'm afraid to like film myself singing it live or whatever. I find it really weird how those little things make us doubt ourselves. And now I guess I'm getting to the point where you're asking, well, or maybe you're asking, maybe you're not, like, then if you're so like afraid of people judging you, why are you putting naked pictures on the internet? And well, I'm not sure. It actually felt very natural for me, because despite me not loving my body when I was a teenager, because you know, hormones, your weight fluctuates, whatever, but I have always enjoyed the naked human body. I always love to, you know, like notice veins and bones, and just like people. I find people beautiful. I just usually doubted my beauty. But then, you know, I had a boyfriend, and he encouraged my self-love, I guess. So then I kind of felt like, yeah, I mean, like, why shouldn't I take like nice photos of me, and why not even naked? Because I always kind of envied people who did this. Just maybe envied the freedom that I felt they had. And to be honest, if you've seen me naked, you probably cannot judge me more. At least that I cannot, I feel like I cannot express this feeling with words correctly. I just feel that if you see me naked, it's probably like the most, well, it's not the most personal a human can get with you, because you can see my outside, but you don't see what's inside of me, inside of me and inside of me. But the external things, I guess, are not as important. Of course, I was super afraid at first, because we are also taught to hide our bodies and feel ashamed for being nude or whatever. At first I was like, I doubted myself if I should post it or not. Actually, I feel like the first photo of myself naked I posted was like heavily edited, so you could see almost nothing from me. I might put it somewhere on the screen if I can figure out the magic. Yeah, then I just started to explore it, and my boyfriend also encouraged it because he also, you know, like enjoys to look at my naked body. Which is kind of, you know, like, I guess that's too much information. He actually like started to take more photos and to encourage me, and so I started to explore my body more, and yeah, now I'm pretty confident. I mean, my body is not the best looking body or whatever. I don't have enough tattoos, but I kind of overcame it. So if you perhaps were looking for some kind of a advice for how to overcome the fear of judgment, I would take small steps. Try to just take it slowly and you'll see, because I know that if you know, post something and people are really harsh, you might just think to yourself that it's not worth it, or you might even think that, oh, the world is so overpopulated, the art world is oversaturated or whatever. I mean, I feel like there's always place for another. So if someone tells you like you cannot be a musician because look at the music industry, there's so many musicians, and that's even only the music industry, look at the like the indie bands or unknown bands or whatever. Don't let them discourage you. Don't let them tell you, if there are people who judge you, because usually when you overcome this fear of judgment and you do post something or show something of yours to others, most of them, if they are kind people and friends, or you know, like just normal people with heart, they will not try to tear you down. But I'm not saying that you cannot expect criticism, because there's also a constructive criticism. You know, if you post something that could use some improvements, don't turn on the person and say that they were mean to you or whatever. If they are really mean to you for no reason, just saying that, you know, that it sucks or whatever, those people, don't listen to them. But if a friend tells you, you know, for example, you drew something and the person says, oh, it looks nice, but maybe the proportions are off, you know, mostly they are not trying to hurt your feelings. They are just trying to help you get better. And that's also another thing that we should be okay with. Because for me, I know that my music is not perfect at all. I know that. So that's why I usually try to, you know, like write there underneath that this is just, you know, like me having fun, and to ask for people not to like harshly judge me, because but I feel like that's again just a fear in my head, because I feel like, you know, when you go on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, deviantart or whatever, hey hey anywhere, I feel like you mostly look at other people's work, and you think that, oh my god, that's amazing, that's perfect. And then you put the pressure on yourself to create only something that's perfect. And that's again my case. I, for so many years, like put it off, put the, like, I put off putting the music out, like drawing or whatever, because I always thought, oh my god, I'm not perfect yet. I will do it when I'm more perfect. But in my head, I imagine, you know, the sound of my music completely different than to what I am able to do. And I feel like I have much more, I think it will be much easier for me to improve if I actually post those things and get those, that insight or the criticism, the constructive criticism. If you always say to yourself, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next year, I'll do it when I have this skill or that skill, I feel like the life just the life just goes by so fast, and you might wake up, 50 years old, and you will tell yourself, oh my god, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I just share that song that I wrote? I could have been, maybe you would not be, like next Madonna or whatever, but maybe you would have gained friends or some community for yourself. You would have gained confidence, and you would have probably grown a little bit more. So yeah, I tell myself I don't want to regret not doing something when I was younger. I, of course, now when I'm 23, I regret that I did not start YouTube when I was 16 or whatever, but I realized that maybe it would not have been the best time, since I am very easily, like saddened or whatever, or I was very easily discouraged back then. So I'm happy that I got to grow, but also I still do regret not starting sooner. And yeah, this judgment, of course, does not only apply to, art, music, the judgment for other things. I, for example, fell in love with a boy who I knew would never love me back, because I know we were friends, and it was like a difficult time, and my heart was just, I like him, and I knew that he would never love me back. But I said to myself, if I don't tell him, I might regret it. It's not because I am expecting him to love me back. It's just so I don't have that thing is like in the back of my brain telling me, oh my god, what if I told him or whatever. So I just, like told him, hey, I know you like me as a friend. And I told him, yeah, I know this. I'm just telling you because I really don't want to regret this when I'm old or dying. So I am not expecting anything of you. I just needed to tell you to get it off my chest. So if you are afraid of being judged by someone you love, you don't want to tell them that you love them because you're afraid of rejection, of the judgment, don't be. If that person doesn't love you, or is, like, if they will laugh at you for loving them, then just, you know that the person was not right for you. And that's just how it is. So just, take small steps and really think about the future as well. Don't get too caught up in the dreams of future. Just, be in the present and just try to be the best you. I guess it's kind of preachy, but yeah. The time is running out on my camera, so I'll have to end. And I hope you enjoyed my little ramble. And I hope you're having a nice day. Bye.